Under the sea, under the sea, where can I find each to their own kind? Take it from me. Up on the land they walked all day, till the flood comes and sweeps away. Down at the bottom, totally rotten under the sea.
Our earlier little tune just defined for us the question of the day. Where would we be able to find a fossil? Especially the fossilized remains of a plateosaurus. Well, we first have to understand what a plateosaurus is. A plateosaurus is a bipedal terrestrial herbivore, which in short means it eats land plants on two legs. It also has a long, flexible neck with a small head at the end of it. That is a plateosaurus. It spends his life roaming the lands, eating plants, and dying a semi-peaceful death on land, right? Well, that brings up the mystery of the day. In February 1997, in the North Sea off the shore of Norway, the fossilized remains of a suspected plateosaurus was found at the bottom of the ocean. Now that may seem unremarkable at first. After all, maybe that dinosaur just decided to go for a swim and went out too far? Possibly, but you see, these dinosaur bones were found 1.5 miles deep under the water and over 70 miles away from the shore. That's over 1,200 football fields lined up back to back to back. If it were only a mile or two, we could assume that an unfortunate accident occurred. But 70 miles is too far away from shore to be just a mere coincidence. So what's happening here? How could this have been possible? How could a land-dwelling, two-legged dinosaur end up at the bottom of the ocean miles away from the shore? Well, there's two possible ways, or two avenues to answer this question. First, we have the side of evolution, which assumes that there is no God. Then the way you would answer this question is simply, well, I don't know. Perhaps you could say there's an off chance that maybe the plateosaurus somehow got caught up in an ocean current that carried it away all 70 miles. Or maybe another prehistoric aquatic dinosaur ate the plateosaurus, carried it 70 miles, and decided to spit it out. I don't know. So that's one side. But the other side, the side of creation, believes God exists and that He is a mighty God. And it is this mighty God that moved the plateosaurus all the way to the bottom of the sea 70 miles off the shore. Now, how did He accomplish that? Well, if we turn to God's word in the Bible, we can look at Genesis 7 for the answer. In this passage, we find the recording of Noah's Ark, when the Lord flooded the whole earth as judgment against the wickedness of man. Many will strongly deny the reality of this event, but the Bible speaks clearly, and the evidence within our world speaks boldly that the flood indeed happened. It is by this massive, powerful flood, when the waters increased greatly upon the earth and prevailed over every living thing, that the plateosaurus was swept away. 70 miles is nothing compared to these great waves that covered the whole earth, and especially so when it is the powerful hand of God Himself that is moving them. And it is not only the plateosaurus bones either. All across the world, we see different phenomena that have no explanation outside of the scriptural account of the flood. There's the whopper sand from the Mississippi River, which was somehow found deep in the Gulf of Mexico. How can an incredible amount of whopper sand formations be found at the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico when it should be limited to the mouth of the Mississippi River? The flood, of course, with its powerful waves, carried this sand with it. There are many more examples, from phytosaur fossils to the Grand Canyon's Coconino sandstone, that speak and support the inerrancy of the Word and the real power of God. Let us marvel at the power of God, for there is truly something and someone to marvel at. In evolution, the randomness of their explanations only create confusion, inconsistency, and distance from the truth. But our God, the awe-inspiring power of our God, is worthy of our attention. Let us stand before Him in wonderment, not confusion, and marvel at the world He has made by His power alone. That's all the time we have for today, but we hope that this can cause you to praise our amazing God, because creation is cool, but the Creator is even cooler. We'll see you all next time.